If it feels harder to get ahead than it used to, you're not imagining it. On the surface, The Economist's message feels like a contradiction. Headlines celebrate record low unemployment, and politicians tout job growth. But behind those numbers is a quieter story. A market where more people are fighting for fewer, truly sustainable opportunities. LinkedIn's workforce report shows that since 2022, the number of applications per job posting has jumped 33%. That means for every role you see, you're up against far more people than you would have been just a few years ago. It's not you. The game really has changed. Think about a recent graduate sending out 200 applications with just 2 interviews, or a mid-career professional getting rejected for being overqualified, which often means too expensive, or a single parent forced to turn down an offer because childcare would consume their entire paycheck. This is not laziness, and it's not even a lack of ambition. It's the reality of trying to move forward in a system that's quietly moved the goalposts. The 40-hour work week was designed in the 1930s when one income could support a household and jobs were stable for decades. Fast forward to today, careers shift every few years, side hustles patch the gaps, and the American dream is increasingly gated by rising costs. Have you ever scrolled through job postings and thought, these all sound the same? Harvard Business Review found that over 80% of job descriptions today use generic language like team player, adaptable, self-starter, and the list goes on. And while these aren't bad traits, they're so vague that they blur the lines between what's truly available and what's just noise. And then there's the hidden reality. A significant number of roles are posted even though the company already has an internal candidate in mind. A practice so common that some recruiters privately admit a portion of postings are just practice compliance. Maybe you've experienced this before. You apply for a job that seems like a perfect match and even ace the interviews, and only to learn that they promote someone in-house into the role. It's like running a race where the finish line moves just as you get there. Consider the tech industry. A single posting for a UX designer might appear on 5 different websites, making it seem like there's a flood of demand. But those listings could all point to the same role. Or worse, the same role already filled internally. This illusion doesn't just waste time, it erodes morale. Job seekers burn out faster, lose confidence, and sometimes settle for positions far beneath their skill set just to stop the grind. In the 1950s, the help wanted section on a newspaper was direct. A few sentences, a salary with a clear description. Today's equivalent is a curated performance, part marketing, part legalese, and part fantasy. We aren't just applying for jobs anymore. We're auditioning for roles that may not even be real. It's not even about working harder. It's about wondering if the middle you're working for still even exists. In the 1970s, 61% of Americans were considered middle class according to the US Census Bureau. By 2021, Pew Research says it's closer to 50%. That's millions of families no longer feeling the stability they once did. You see it everywhere. Young couples living with roommates well into their 30s, parents skipping vacations for the 3rd year in a row, retirees working part-time because their savings just won't stretch. Even those with good jobs feel it. A Washington Post series followed middle-class families for over a decade. None experienced sudden disasters. Instead, slow inflation in housing, healthcare, and education chipped away year after year until their budgets had no room left to breathe. The middle isn't just shrinking, it's slipping through our fingers. American writer and civil rights activist James Baldwin said, I quote, "Anyone who has ever struggled with poverty knows how extremely expensive it is to be poor. End of quote. And increasingly, that expensive reality is creeping up into the middle class. Even everyday costs, from childcare to car repairs, are forcing choices our parents might never have faced. The middle used to mean stability. Today, it's becoming a balancing act on a thinner and thinner wire. When did we start turning every joy into a product? We live in an age where the phrase "follow your passion" has been repeated so often it's practically a commandment. But a 2022 Stanford study found that passion can narrow your focus so much you ignore other fulfilling possibilities. And when passion becomes your paycheck, burnout follows faster. It's the photographer who stops shooting for fun because the next picture has to be sellable, or the musician who hesitates to pick up his guitar because the next post, the next stream, or the next algorithm push is always looming. When passion becomes a job, it stops feeling like joy. Even hobbies now come with performance pressure. Baking is content. Reading is bookstagram, and gardening, a reel with a trending audio. Maya Angelou reminded us, I quote, "You can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have," end of quote. But she didn't mean monetize every single drop. The truth is, meaning doesn't always come from the market. Sometimes the most valuable thing you'll ever do will never pay you a cent. We're told to plan, to set 5-year goals, to chart a career path. But in a world changing this fast, those maps age quicker than the ink dries. And it's not that we don't want direction. Sometimes the road just keeps getting rebuilt. A McKinsey report found that 375 million workers worldwide may need to switch occupations by 2030 because of automation and AI. That's roughly the population of the United States. Entire skill sets that were essential 5 years ago are now optional. Some are obsolete. Look at Kodak, once the leader in photography, overtaken by digital in a blink. Or Blockbuster, a Friday night ritual for millions, gone before Netflix was even streaming full-time. The lesson here? Even the giants can't rely on old maps. For workers, that means learning to navigate in uncertainty and more in adaptability. And also finding comfort in a future that refuses to sit still. It's almost like boring jobs are quietly disappearing, and we may not miss them. Automation isn't just replacing manufacturing lines. AI is now drafting legal documents, scanning medical images, and transcribing meetings in real time. According to a report from MIT, nearly 25% of tasks in the global economy could be automated by 2030. That includes the jobs that are repetitive, soul-numbing, and physically exhausting. Think of warehouse workers walking 50 miles a shift, data clerk copying the same fields over and over, or call center staff reciting the same script for 1,000th time. Is there loss here? Yes, but also potential. Removing the life-sucking repetitive work could free human creativity for roles we haven't even named yet. It's not utopia, but it's a chance to redefine what work means beyond survival. Not everyone is waiting for the systems to change. Some people are stepping away from the rules entirely. And it's not quitting, it's rewriting the script. Think of the rise in downshifting. People deliberately choosing lower paying jobs for more time, mental health, or autonomy. The American Psychological Association notes a steady increase in workers prioritizing life satisfaction over income. We saw it in the Great Resignation, where millions left jobs that didn't meet their needs, even without a proper, perfect alternative lined up. And it's continuing in subtler ways. Hybrid work refusals, side businesses that are more about expression than profit, or even the rise of community barter networks. The quiet rebellion isn't loud or headline grabbing. It's in our everyday choices. It's a refusal to only measure life in paychecks or promotions. The ground is shifting. The maps are outdated. The middle is thinner. But in the cracks, there is space for something new to grow. Work that doesn't just keep you alive, but work that makes you feel alive. And maybe in uncertainty, we find the freedom to reimagine work and life on our own terms.